The morning shift at St. Vincent's Medical Center began just like any other day for Dr. Matthew Hayes. The soft September sunlight streamed through the tall hospital windows, painting the sterile hallways with a quiet calm. At 31, Matthew had already spent 6 years in the neurological ICU, a place where hope was fragile and compassion meant everything. He was the kind of doctor who never rushed a moment. His slightly tousled brown hair, his calm eyes, and his warm smile had become a source of comfort to patients' families. To Matthew, medicine was never just science. It was human connection. Room 314 had been his silent assignment for 3 long months. Inside lay Victoria Ashford, a 28-year-old heiress whose name once filled business magazines and social headlines. But all that wealth and fame meant nothing now. After a tragic car accident, Victoria had been in a coma, trapped between life and silence. Her golden hair framed her still face, and the only sound in her room was the gentle rhythm of machines keeping her alive. Too many at the hospital. She was a high-profile case. But to Matthew, she was simply a person, one who deserved kindness even if she couldn't respond. Every morning, as he changed her bandages, Matthew spoke to her softly. "Good morning, Victoria," he would say. "The leaves outside are beginning to turn. I think you'd love the colors today." He told her about books he was reading, small miracles he'd noticed on his walk to work, and the beauty in ordinary things. What Matthew didn't know was that Victoria heard every word. She was conscious, trapped inside her unmoving body, clinging to the sound of his voice. His gentle tone had become her only link to the world, the only proof that someone still saw her as human. And then, one morning, everything changed. As Matthew replaced the bandage on her arm, she whispered his name. "Matthew." He froze. The roll of gauze slipped from his hand. When he looked up, Victoria's eyes were open, alive, blinking slowly as they adjusted to the light. "Can you hear me?" he asked, breathless. "I can," she said weakly. "I've been hearing you all along." Every morning, in that instant, years of training couldn't stop the tears in his eyes. As the room filled with nurses and doctors rushing to confirm the miracle, Matthew never looked away from her. Over the next few days, Victoria's recovery astonished everyone. Tests showed no lasting damage, and her mind was clear, strong. But her heart, that was where the biggest change had taken place. When she could finally speak for longer, she told Matthew, "You were the only one who talked to me like I was still here. You made me feel human again." He smiled, humbled. That's just what everyone deserves. Victoria to be treated with kindness. Weeks later, when she was ready to go home, she asked him to dinner, not as her doctor, but as the man whose voice had guided her back to life. She warned him, gently, "If you say yes, you'll be stepping into my world. The cameras, the questions, the rumors." Matthew reached across the table and took her hand. "Then let them talk," he said softly, "because I already know who you really are." Their friendship turned to love, built not on wealth or status, but on quiet moments of understanding. A year later, in the very hospital room where she had opened her eyes, Matthew proposed. "I fell in love with you before you even woke up," he said. "With your strength, your spirit, the person I believed you were." Victoria smiled through tears. "And you loved me when I couldn't love myself." That's the kind of love that lasts. They were married in the hospital chapel, surrounded by the very people who had witnessed their miracle. Together, they founded the Ashford Foundation, dedicated to helping coma patients and families find hope again. Whenever asked about their love story, Victoria would always say, "People think Matthew saved my life when I woke up. But really, he saved it when I was silent, because he saw worth in me when I couldn't speak for myself." And Matthew, standing beside her, would simply add, "Love isn't about grand gestures. It's about showing up with gentleness, patience, and faith in someone's worth. Because sometimes, the softest whisper of kindness can awaken even the deepest sleep." Whispers of Kindness.